Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soul Purpose Leaders. Today, I have an amazing guest, and I cannot wait to share with you today. But first, before we go that far, and I just want to share with you that we're here because we want to actually empower you. We want to inspire you, and we want to be able to say to you that if you're looking for someone, if you're looking for, or if you have an interest in business or self-development, this is the place for you. I have amazing guests. They come from all over the world. They are here. I just want to showcase them for you because you never know. Today could be the person you're looking for. So today we have an amazing speaker. Her name is Stella Maher, and she is an award-winning confidence coach and mindset trainer at to young people. She is also a speaker and the founder of the Lioness Within Coaching. She has worked as a life coach for 4 years, but her passion for supporting young people who are struggling with poor body image, lack of confidence, and low self-esteem problems that she struggled with herself as a young woman, inspired her to create a unique, holistic personal development and confidence building program for young people. Stella has delivered her program to over 100 young people between the age of 14 and 20, helping them to reset their mindset and transform from feeling insecure about their ability and their appearance to becoming more confident and more self-assured in their own skin. Her program arms young people with the skills they need to cope more actively with modern day pressure, believe in their ability to pursue and achieve their goals, and to develop a healthy body image. Studies shows that young people who are confident and have self-belief perform better academically, are less likely to be bullied, self-harm experiences, eating disorder, or become depressed. Stella also has a one-to-one private coaching programs for women called Achieve Your Heart's Desires. Ooh, that sounds more than what I'm expecting. Stella started presenting her own radio show called Look Up to the Stars on RMT.FM, the show which was born out of her passion for supporting young people, explore role models that young people can look to for inspiration. Stella has spoken at a number of conferences and business events and volunteers as a campaigner and fundraiser for breast cancer now by speaking at corporate events to represent the charity and raise awareness about breast cancer and the importance of early detection. She was featured on the front cover of the Evening Standard as part of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month and has campaigned to MPs about the importance of care after breast cancer. Stella has a CPD accredited diploma in personal performance coaching and a level 5 diploma in education and training. Wow, this woman, okay, she is like a guru, guys, okay? I cannot wait to have her with me. And here she is. Welcome, Stella Maher. Thank you for being here. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you, Barke. That's quite an introduction. I'm not sure about being a guru. I am passionate about what I do, but I don't know about being a guru, though.
Well, I think being a guru is they're passionate and more to what they actually experience in their own lives. And you have certainly done that. And this is why I'm just, oh my God, I am honored to have you here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure. And it's also an honor for me to have you, to be on your show. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I want us to actually dive in. I cannot wait. But the most important thing that stood out for me is your childhood. As you put it in your in your biography that you went through self-image, and you went through that, what you're actually helping people to know exactly what are they going through now. So tell us a bit more about that.
So I had a lot of personal struggles, as a young person, which affected my self-confidence, my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-belief. When I was at school, I was relentlessly picked on by school bullies. I was called all sorts of names because of the way I looked, for being skinny. I was even for the shape of my mouth, for the shape of my teeth. They picked on me for everything.
Wow. They didn't leave anything behind.
No. So you can imagine, as a teenager, that really messed up my confidence. It really messed me up and it made me feel so self-conscious and so insecure about my appearance. It was so bad that I became very obsessed about my lack of curves every time I look in the mirror, because I really was quite skinny. So every time I look in the mirror, every time I got dressed, I was so self-conscious, and I was always worrying about how I looked, and it didn't help that my terribly low self-esteem and poor body image now followed me well into adulthood. In fact, until my late 30s, I was still struggling. And even up to my 40s, I was still struggling with these issues. It was absolutely terrible.
That's sad.
Yeah, but 8 years after I came to this country, what really helped me was that I set up a small home business marketing health and well-being products.
Okay.
Now, trying to build my own business exposed me to a whole new world of self-development. It was like, as soon as I walked through that door and immersed myself in all the trainings and all the seminars and all the workshops, it was like my self-confidence and my self-esteem started to blossom. It was a real turning point in my life. I started to see myself in a whole new light. And I started to realize that I didn't have to be defined by the opinions of other people. I had allowed those bullies to disempower me. I had allowed them, for years to get into my head and completely disempower me. And as soon as I came to that realization, I knew that the sky was the limit. I gradually started to overcome my insecurities. And for once, I had faith in my abilities. And my self-belief started to grow. And the more it grew and the more I had confidence in myself, the more I wanted to help other people to reach their full potential. And that's when it struck me that I could be a life coach. That's when I realized I had that desire to help other people who felt as insecure and unhappy as I had once done. Amazing. So it was the perfect career for me.
Wow, that's quite a journey. And the way you're saying is that it actually took a chunk of your life to have this insecurity and to have these feelings that was kind of like this is it, this is my life. And to be honest, after you already started the journey of self-development, to thinking that, no, I don't want that as my life. I want something better. Now, for you, okay, we're grateful that you actually went through your having the network marketing kind of saved you and put you in a place that, oh, there's more to it than just being where you are.
Yeah, it was just that exposure, that started to open my eyes, and I thought, oh my goodness, there's more to me. I'm actually much better than I think I am.
Exactly.
It was just a realization, yes.
Exactly, because for me, when I look at you, I wouldn't say, or I wouldn't even know there was that part of you. You know what I mean? What you're telling me right now. Yeah. Because I look at you and I see you as a confident, beautiful, amazing woman. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Thank you,
don't
but I
see
wasn't always that way.
exactly. And this is where a lot of us, you know, we need to understand when we look at the person, because we don't know what their life has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is their stories? So I am so honored. Like I said, really, I am proud to actually have you here, because a lot of women are going through this, and men, they're going through this.
Yes.
And it's so funny, because when you're fat, you've been bullied. When you're
Yes.
skinny, you've been bullied.
Yeah,
There's no
absolutely.
time out.
There's no middle ground. In this part of the world, you tend to be bullied for being fat. But
Yes.
in Nigeria, where I grew up, you're more likely to be bullied for being skinny.
Oh
And
my
that was the
goodness.
case. Yes.
So they need to swap it round, yeah?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Now, I am so glad though, because you actually going through your journey. Now, what came up to the point that you started talking about breast cancer?
Oh, right. That was an entirely different challenge in my life as well. I actually went through cancer 5 years ago,
Mm.
and that was a huge terrifying part of my life. And in fact, what it did to me was to completely undo all that work that I had done, building up my self-confidence, building up my self-esteem, building up my self-worth. I built it up there, and then cancer came along and just floored everything, you know, because it was it was just awful. I mean, my confidence was at rock bottom, because when you're going through chemo and you lose all your hair and you lose all your eyebrows and you lose all your eyelashes and you lose every single, and you're completely bald, and for some people it ends there, but for me, I lost my fingernails and my toenails as well. It was a
What?
horrendous experience for me. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to
Wow.
die. So it was a really terrifying experience. So that completely messed up all the work I had done on my psyche. So when I recovered from cancer, it was like I had to start all over again. And that was actually when I went and got the qualification as a coach,
Okay.
because I didn't start up being a coach. My background was in office administration. I started off working as a PA and a secretary for many years in corporate organizations.
Wow.
Yeah, but I always wanted something else. And, you know, when I decided I was going to become a coach, I didn't actually go ahead with it immediately. It was when after going through cancer and realizing that, you know, that I didn't have all the time in the world, that I decided to go and get the qualification. So as soon as I finished my cancer treatment, I went and qualified as a coach.
Wow. That's a biggest journey. And you like when you went through the cancer and the chemo and
Yeah.
everything else, it's like kind of it's like a new thing you have to fight, a new battle, and
Yes. Yes.
you won, because you're here, you're talking with us, and you're healthy and you're looking
Absolutely.
amazing, like I said. But
Thank you.
you have such a big history to share, and also that knowledge, and for you to start fighting and say, this is important, this is something that needs to be told about, people needs to hear it. So how did you go about it, and for you to share to evening news and also share to the world, this is something that needs to be sorted?
Yeah, so what I did was, because of the support I got from Breast Cancer Now, they used to be called Breast Cancer Care back then. So I decided to volunteer for them. They really helped me at a very, you know, at the lowest time, because the funny thing about cancer is when you're going through the treatment, you got something to occupy you. You got, you know, you're sort of in that bubble of going through cancer treatment, of not knowing, will I survive this? And, you know, and just generally trying to take one day at a time. But when all that is done and dusted, and you have nothing else happening, but you have not recovered, that's the worst possible time. People tend to think that the treatment is terrible. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's horrendous. My chemo is different for everybody, but my chemo was the most horrific experience I've ever had in my life. I mean, that was not, if you can think of any type of, what's it called? Allergic reaction that you can possibly have to drugs. I experienced every single one of them. Every single one of them. So it was a horrendous time for me. But when I then finished all that treatment and my body was battered and bruised and I was still very weak, and that people don't realize what you're going through then. People just tend to think, okay, the treatment is over, you're fine. And because I would wear a wig and wear a bit of makeup and you look like your normal self. But that's the hardest time because you are going through mental torture, actually. Worrying that the cancer will come back, worrying that you've not properly recovered, but trying to carry on with life as normal, being a mom, doing your job, building your business as best as you possibly can. People don't understand what the torment that's going on inside you. And that's when breast cancer care supported me. That's when I attended their program, and they really, really helped me. And when I learned how to manage that time of my life and went through it and recovered from it, that's when I made the decision to volunteer for them. So I started volunteering for them and I started speaking about breast cancer, creating more awareness about the disease and the importance of early detection, how to check yourself, how important it is for you to check yourself very regularly, and also to also let your friends and your family know, how important it is. And it's not just for women, because men also have breast cancer.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am very happy and I'm glad everything went well, even though it was the worst time for you, but it did went well. And for other people that you fought for and you're still fighting by sharing this, you're still there sharing this important journey that you went through, but also for people to be aware of and to check every single time. And that is the most important thing to do for themselves.
Very important.
Now, you embark with another journey of yourself of becoming the coach. Tell us about the transitioning time for you.
Well, it was an interesting period because with everything I went through, with my lack of confidence and lack of belief in myself, although I was coming out of that stage and realizing that I wanted to be a coach, I didn't do anything about it immediately. I was sort of procrastinating, like I said. So it was quite a bit of a journey. So it was like I said earlier. I mean, the cancer was like a wake-up call for me. But as soon as I qualified as a coach, initially I started working with just about anybody. I coached anyone and anybody who came around and said they needed to be coached, I coached. But it wasn't until later that I started to think about focusing on a niche. And then I started going back to look at my values. And that's when I realized, yes, this is what I need to focus on, young women. Because as a young woman, I went through all these problems and I can see young women going through similar issues to do with their bodies, issues to do with their self-esteem and their self-confidence.
Yeah.
And so I actually went ahead and developed the program, a unique, and holistic program that you talked about when you were introducing me. But now with time, most recently, I have decided to actually open it up to everyone. So it's not just for young women anymore, it's for young men as well, because it's not just young women who go through confidence issues, young men do as well. I have a son and I know exactly what he goes through. I have a teenage son. and they are in a similar situation. They are going through similar pressures as young women around their body image, around their abilities, around their whether they're good enough, to achieve their dreams. They're all young people, and even adults go through similar problems.
Exactly. And for boys, even worse, because sometimes they don't speak about these things. They don't let themselves be vulnerable. And it is so true, because being aware of what's happening, but also now share it, ask for help. That is where people need to be able to do it. And sometimes boys or men find it very difficult to do that.
Yes, they do.
So
They
I am
tend to
so
clam up.
exactly. So I'm very
It's
happy
easier for
that
women.
yes, exactly. Yeah, everything. If you want to speak,
talk
just
about
go to
the
women.
feelings.
That's so true. But it is really unique what you're doing. And what is happening is that it's true, especially for young women or even young boys, young men, they need this. It's really important, and it's amazing. And I love to hear that you're doing it. Now, tell us a bit more about the event that you spoke in about loneliness.
Loneliness.
Yeah, loneliness within the you're also because you're doing as you're a speaker and the founder of the Loneliness Within Coaching.
The Lioness Within.
Sorry, Lioness, loneliness, because
it's the Lioness Within Coaching. That is actually the name of my business.
Okay, that's your
brand name. That is the name of my coaching business. Yes. Yes. So, and the reason why I called it the Lioness, can you hear me? Because
I can hear you.
It looks like you're frozen.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh dear. I don't know if you can hear me. You're completely frozen. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you because you were completely frozen.
Yeah, for me, you're fine. It's just, okay. Yeah, so you can still continue talking.
Okay, so, so what I was trying to say is that the name of my coaching business is the Lioness Within Coaching. Okay. And that's because, so I chose the Lioness Within because I believe that within every young woman, there is a lioness waiting to unleash itself. So if you allow it, if you allow the lioness within you to come out, you can unleash it because we've all got it. It's all inside us. We all have that strength and that beauty and that power and that ability and that potential to go for our dreams, pursue our goals, and achieve anything we set our mind and our heart on achieving. I believe we all do. But we have it all hidden within us. We just need to unleash it. And that's why I called it the Lioness Within.
That's amazing. But where does it come from? Did you have like, is this some particular image or what happened for you to come to this name, to call it as your brand name?
Yeah, you can. I think I was just, we were having a chat with a group of friends, actually. Yeah, I was attending a course. Okay. Yes, and we were talking generally talking about developing our signature programs. And that's when I came up with the name.
It's an amazing name. And poorly of me calling it loneliness. I do apologize, but
it's all right.
Tell me, have you thought of maybe, having all this in a book? Is there a book coming?
Yes. Yes, I have thought about writing a book. And that's something I am yet to work on. In fact, I not just the book. I have three right now. I have 3 children's books in my head, yet to come out.
Tell us what year, so we can get ready.
I I have, the thoughts come to me and I just sort of jotted them down. So I have the stories. It's just I need to develop them and develop the characters.
Wow.
But I also want to write something like a self-help book for teenagers, for young people, something like a motivational handbook for teenagers.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
so definitely, I'm following in your footsteps. I'll have a book out, but not immediately.
that's fine. As long as, because the
Yeah,
story, what you've told us so far, it's
yeah,
empowering. It's
yes,
something that can actually help or heal a person. And this is why
yes,
I love to see people like yourself, because I'm just like, write it down, share it with us so we can have a piece of you in our homes, and on our shelves. We can say, Stella's with me.
Actually, having said that, part of my story, there is a book that I co-authored. It's called Breast Cancer, My Breast Cancer Story.
Mm,
It was a project done by Asta and Breast Cancer Now, and you can actually buy the book in Asta. So I can send you
okay.
the link if you want.
Yes, please
And
send us
the
the link.
funds, it wasn't just me, it was a number of us, about 10 stories of people like me who went through breast cancer. So our stories were all shared in this book.
Amazing.
And you can buy it in Asta, and the funds go to Breast Cancer Now.
Oh, that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
yes, I would love that.
So
And
part of my story is already in a book.
yes, and that's great. That's a piece of you.
Yeah.
It's in there. So that's amazing.
Yeah,
And for
but I
everyone
still need
else,
to write it myself. Yes.
exactly. We need your
Mm.
biography so we can know exactly what is the life look like from your eyes, from your point of view. And that's the
Yeah.
amazing
Yes,
part of you.
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you. But that's
Mm.
really amazing. And for everybody else, whoever's listening or watching this, I will put the link within the biography on the platform, and you can get the book for yourself as well. And I just want to say that you sharing all this, it's actually the most impactful thing you can do, but also it's the people who hear it. Because if they're going
Yes.
through that themselves, they can get that help, they can get that support that they
Yes.
needed. Now,
Absolutely.
for bullying, okay, for you, what you went through, what support did you have for yourself in your years?
But I didn't get any support. See, because I grew up in a different age, in a different country, and it's not something that you can easily talk about in Nigeria when I was growing up. I mean, you come from Africa, you know how it is. The way children are raised back there is not the same way children are raised here. I'm not saying that you don't get support. I had very good parents who supported us and raised us and cared for us and loved us. My father is late now. That's why I said I had parents. My mom is still around. In fact, they were both school teachers. So as far as, being supportive and being liberal goes, they were that, considering the time and age. But it wasn't something that was easy for me to talk about.
Yeah.
It was something I kept very much to myself. And that's why I decided to do what I do, because I thought back then, if I had somebody like me
Mm.
willing to support me and willing to offer me help and willing to tell me, look, it's all right. What you're going through is all right. It's all right to feel the way you do. It's not you, it's the bullies. If I had somebody support me and explain things to me and tell me that I shouldn't let those things define me, I shouldn't let their opinions of me define who I was or who I became, that would have been really helpful. And that's what prompted me to actually focus on young people,
Yeah.
because I want to be that someone for them.
It's very true, because a lot of people, most of the time, is they don't have that support. They don't have someone to talk to and just be real about it.
Yeah.
And for someone like
Yes.
yourself to share that with us and to share with everyone else, that is the most key point for everybody to hear, and for people to say, I feel good now. I look at this lady and she's telling me her story, I can actually go and contact her and just speak to her about it because she knows where I come from. And that's why we're here and to share this today. Now, Stella, tell us, if today was your last day in this earth, what, if you got a message to the world, what would that message be?
You know, my message, based on what I've gone through in life, my message is, I'm going to take this, it's a quote from Jo Malone. She's a perfumer. She also survived a very terrible type of breast cancer, like I did.
Mm.
She says, don't let other people's opinion of you, don't be defined by other people's opinion of you.
Mm-hmm.
You own your life. You own your dreams. Go out there and make them come true. And that is my message to everybody. And that sort of sums up the advice I would have given to myself so many years ago when I was going through all those problems. Don't let other people's opinion of you define you. Don't let other people's opinion of you, decide for you what you're going to do with your life. You own your life. And that's my message.
And that is the best message ever, because we all need it. Even if someone is not going through bullying or is not going through self-image, but they're actually going through difficulties, that is the best message. Thank you so much, Stella, for that.
Thank you.
Now, I want to ask also, where do you like to hang around so people can come and visit you?
Well, I love people coming to my home to visit me, but the easiest place to find me is...
I think we can do that with the corona.
Yeah, the easiest place to find me is on my website, StellaMaher.com. Okay. You can also, I'm also on Facebook. Just just search for my name, Stella Maher. You'll find me on Facebook. You'll find me on LinkedIn. You will also find me on Instagram at Stella Maher. And I'm also at the Lioness Within Coaching. So I have two Instagram accounts.
Okay.
One is at Stella Maher. The other one is at the Lioness Within Coaching.
Amazing.
So you can find me there.
Thank you so much. And very simple, as you heard that, ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are, whoever's listening, that you can find this amazing woman and talk to her. Don't be shy. And just want to also, before we close for today, if you've got anything you want to share with our audience today, please.
Wow. Okay, what can I share? I suppose at this time, particularly at this time that we're all going through the COVID challenge, that it limits our ability to go out and meet with friends and family, is very, very easy for loneliness, anxiety, and stress to set in. So please be kind to yourself. Self-care is very important. Look after yourself. Even if you can't see your loved ones, if you're all by yourself, try to communicate with them by video link. It's not the same thing, I know, but do try to talk to your friends, meet up on Zoom, look after yourself, do things that you enjoy, listen to music, have a soak in the bath, go for a walk, exercise, do all those things that will help to put you in a good place. Because it's very important. It's very, very easy now, for people to slide. There's a thin line now between, being in a good place and sliding into mental health issues. Yeah. So for our mental well-being, it's very, very important that you look after yourself.
Exactly. Thank you so much. You've been a superstar guest today. And thank you so much for this. And for everybody else must be, this is amazing, Stella, guys. And thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Barke. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. And thank you. And for everybody else, I can't wait to share with you the next guest. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.